Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make the absolute best and softest gluten-free sourdough rolls of your life. Actually, they're the best rolls ever of my life. Seriously, I really don't think I've had a better roll in my life than these rolls right here. That is a bold statement, I know, but so far my son and I both agree, and I hope that once you make them, you'll agree as well that they are the lightest, softest rolls ever. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make them. What makes these rolls so soft, y'all, in addition to the sourdough starter, is a tangzhong. If you haven't yet made any of my recipes that use a tangzhong, it's simply cooking some of the flour in the recipe with some of the liquid in the recipe. So I've got 120 grams of whole milk and 60 grams of water, and I'll just combine those and then add them to my little bowl here that has 35 grams of Kim's gluten-free bread flour blend in it. And as per usual, Kim fashion, I picked a bowl that's a little too small. Will I ever learn, y'all? I really don't think I will. All right, I'll just go with this and I'm going to give this a little whisk. It's not going to be completely lump-free yet, but that's okay right now. Now you can do this on the stovetop. I've done it many times in other recipes using a tangzhong, but I'm going to just pop this in the microwave at 30-second intervals and then come back and whisk it again and see where we're at. I need a little more time, so I'm going to do another 30 seconds and we'll see where we are at that point. Okay, I can tell this still needs a little more time, but not much. So now I'll do about 20 seconds and I think that'll be enough. Yes, this looks perfect. It's nice and thick. That's what I want. If you were to take the temp of it now, it would register to at least like 145 to 150. And I need to let this cool now because if I add this in with my sourdough starter, it's going to kill the sourdough starter for sure. It's okay if it's lukewarm, but no more than that. All right, to make the dough, I'll start with 190 grams of whole milk into the bowl of my stand mixer. You could probably do this with a dairy-free milk. I see no problem with that. I just haven't tried it myself yet. And then this is 5 grams of psyllium husk, whole psyllium husks, and my sourdough starter, which is active and bubbly. It's 100 grams of sourdough starter, and I fed it about, 4 or 5 hours ago. It's quite warm today in my kitchen. And then I'll add 56 grams of very soft butter. And now my tangzhong has cooled enough. It's just lukewarm. So I'll go ahead and add that in. And this is 50 grams of granulated sugar and 1 egg at room temperature. And then I also have 16 grams of dry milk powder. I'm using whole fat milk powder in this just because I happen to have some, but you can use non-fat as well. And then finally 300 grams of Kim's gluten-free bread flour blend and 6 grams of kosher salt. And I'll just get this on the mixer and put it on low for just a few minutes, just until the dough comes together and all those dry bits get incorporated. And then I'll let it go for 5 minutes like I always do on like medium to medium high. Okay, 5 minutes later and the dough should look like this. It's smooth, it is very sticky. And I'll just scrape this into the center of my bowl, or you can put it in another bowl if you need to, and cover it with plastic wrap. And I'm going to let this proof at a warm room temperature until nearly doubled in size. That could take anywhere from 2 hours all the way up to like 5 or 6. And then I'm going to refrigerate this overnight. People often ask me if they can skip this step, and really, no, you can't skip this step. Only for my recipes that specifically say like same dough sourdough and specifically say you don't need to refrigerate it. But in this instance, this dough is so soft. So the next day, I'll take it out of the fridge and I'm going to knead it on a well-floured surface. And as you know, the flour I always use as a bench flour is the one that the recipe uses. So in this case, it's Kim's gluten-free bread flour blend. If I were making something like, I don't know, biscuits or something, then I would use my all-purpose flour blend because that is what is in the biscuit recipe. But a word to the wise, y'all, this is a sticky dough. Even after all that refrigeration time, when I first made these rolls, they were outstanding. Like I said, the best rolls I've ever had. But then I wanted to see if I could make them just a little bit easier and less sticky to work with, to knead and shape. So I added about 10 grams more of psyllium husks, and we didn't like them as much. They weren't quite as soft, but you do you. If you really want something a little less soft but easier to manage, then go for it and add up to 10 grams more psyllium husks. They're still going to be a soft roll, but once we had the original, we didn't want to go backwards. So we didn't want all that psyllium husk. While psyllium husk does help with, being able to knead dough, it is not always imperative in my recipes because my flour blend already makes it easier to knead dough. I'm going to weigh mine out so that they're roughly about 80 grams each. You can just eyeball it and divide the dough into 12 equally sized pieces. I'm not good at eyeballing, especially when the dough is so sticky. So I'm just going to go ahead and weigh. I'll just shape these into tight round rolls now. I've done this so many times, it's too many to count. And I always use the same method if you've ever seen any of my videos on roll making. But I put the piece of dough on a well-floured area of my counter, and I start pulling the sides into the middle to create like a round shape. And then on an unfloured part of my counter, I flip it over and roll it with my hand cupped like a C, like a backwards C, until it basically catches on the surface and pulls it nice and taut. Sometimes I have to use my bench scraper to lift it off the counter, y'all, but that's fine. That's what it's there for. And if you need to like spray your bench scraper with non-stick spray, you can do that as well. So I'll just crank these out real quick so you don't have to watch the same thing over and over again. And then I'll just butter my pan. I'm using a 9 by 13 inch baking pan, but if you want taller rolls that are like smaller in width, then use a smaller pan. I kind of like them to be big because that's how I remember these rolls. My mom used to get these rolls. She used to buy them at the commissary for our Thanksgiving, and they were called soft yeasty rolls. They were big enough to make a little sandwich out of with some turkey and maybe mashed potatoes or cranberry sauce or whatever. And they were so soft and heavenly. And these rolls are actually better than I remember those rolls to be. Okay, I'm going to cover these and I'm going to let them proof until doubled in size, which will take anywhere from an hour to 2 or maybe even 3. You have to be patient, y'all. Sourdough, really good sourdough, just takes time. And when it's gluten-free, it takes even more time. One last step before baking is to brush them with some melted butter. But be gentle so you don't deflate everything you worked so hard and waited so long for. They're so worth it. I'll bake these at 350 F for about 15 to 20 minutes. just until they're a very light golden brown. You won't get super dark browning on these, but that's how they're supposed to be, y'all. Very light in color. And as soon as they come out of the oven, brush them again with any of that leftover melted butter. Y'all, I am dead serious when I say these might be, no, they are the best rolls I've ever had, gluten-free or not. They're so soft and plush, and they're still pretty hot, but I'm gonna sacrifice my fingers to tear one open for y'all so you can see just how squishy and soft they are. And the taste, a very mild sourdough taste, not overly sour at all, like a pleasant yeasty roll. And I'm a butter on my roll kind of person, y'all. Like the more the merrier with the butter. But I could eat these plain all day long. I literally want to jump up and down right now. But I'm going to spare you that embarrassment. You have to make them, you guys, for Thanksgiving or just for every day. They're my new favorite. Enjoy.